And the scene was unfortunately cut from the final edit, but initially we had a scene where Carmen is in her room following along to a hair and makeup tutorial by a 13-year-old girl on YouTube, and she's trying to curl her own hair and burns her hair off.
We seen that time
And,
and time again.
and that's right. So I said, okay, well, there's a challenge because there's a lot of logistics in figuring out how we're going to shoot a scene like that.
Right.
And I saw that and I said, okay, this is a hair centric show. I knew that right away. And and Benny began to, as the script went on, Benny began to, hair was mentioned. Hair was a big part of Carmen and her story arc. And that was all laid out right from the top.
Okay.
So, and I said, well, this is the show that I want. These are the challenges that I want. And if the first scene in the show is a hair gag with
Mhm.
where she's burning her hair off, I said, I want to meet that challenge.
Yeah.
I want to figure out the logistics of how we're going to execute that on camera.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, how did you go about executing that on camera?
Oh, well, because in film we have to do each scene multiple times, right?
Mhm.
Each take, each angle, each setup, we have to do multiple times. So we're obviously not burning her hair off. And so what I ended up doing was I had bought a series of hair extensions, just wefted hair on tracks that matched her texture.
Mhm.
And I knew it would have to be a synthetic hair because real hair isn't like it had to go off without a hitch, right? We
Yeah.
couldn't wait for the hair to burn it. It was actually timed as well. So as she's following the YouTube tutorial, the dialogue of the tutorial, so it's like 3, 2, 1, the hair burns off. So I bought a series of hair extensions, at all different brands of synthetic pieces that looked as real as possible.
Mhm.
And I bought expensive ones, I bought cheap ones, I bought simple ones, I bought, all the different ones. And I took 5 or 6 different flat irons and because using a flat iron, not a curling iron. So
Uh-huh.
I had 5 or 6 different flat irons and I tested each one of them at different heat levels of how long it's going to take. It was
Wow.
about 3 seconds we had for the iron to touch the hair and burn the hair off.
Yeah.
And it had to do it every take, every setup. And so we experimented, I laid them out and I put labels, I timed them, and I put the different irons to different heat. And none of them was working. None of them. Over and over and over again. We were trying every single time, over and over and over. And so finally, um, my assistant had a flat iron that she's like, I can't use this because it gets so hot. Let's try this one.
Okay.
And I touched it, 1, 2, 3, the hair melted right away.
Nice.